I'm back. I also have one more thing that I wanted to eat this morning. So it's technically speaking because for context, I wake up and usually eat one whole meal in the morning. So it doesn't matter where I am. Whenever I wake up, I'm always hungry. My plan though is to not eat any more today. And the hot pot honestly is probably maybe 300 calories. The strawberries, maybe 30. The steamed bun, maybe 200. So now I'm having a little ice cream bar. Oh, that's it. Well, okay, wait. Here's the issue. In Japan, that is not it. In Japan, I'm gonna walk a lot. I'm gonna go to dance practice today. And then I'm probably gonna go and take whoever I was with at dance practice with out to dinner. And then I'm gonna die. And then I'm gonna be chubby. I don't want to be chubby because I need to be cute for you guys. So I need to be careful and watch my weight, you know? Thick, I don't want to be thick. There are many things I aspire to be. Nothing wrong with being chubby, by the way. Just for me personally, I feel like it's not cute on me. Betrayal. Chubby Reese is cute though. I don't agree. But I speak from my own vanity. Wait, so how come we're chubby? You're not chubby or fluffy, but even if you were chubby, I'd still love you. Are you top heavy, bottom heavy, or neither? I mean, obviously, I've got huge tits, but I've also got a huge ass. Now, I've also got a nice skinny waist. So I'd say I'm a generally pretty traditional hourglass. You know, I've got that built top and built bottom. You put hourglasses to shame. Thank you. I will say, this is an embarrassing story to share. But back when I was a bit younger, I used to be not much, probably like 10 pounds heavier than I am now. I was really embarrassed about it. I was talking to one of my friends and she was like, girl, what are you talking about? You literally look like the Greek goddess statues. Like you look like you were carved out of marble. And I was like, huh? You weighed 10 whole pounds? No, I mean more than usual. What the fuck does 10 mean in kilos? About 5. Yeah, she was like, I literally don't know what you're complaining about. It doesn't even matter because you don't look fat. You look like a fucking Greek goddess statue. 10 pounds is nothing. Look, you don't understand. You're right. It'd be nothing if it all went to my boobs, but it doesn't. I become a little pudgy, and I don't like to be pudgy. I get very angry about it, actually. It reminds me of watching do you guys read Doki-chan by Yomu Yomu on Twitter? Gambare Doki-chan. For a while when they were making the Gambare Doki-chan comics, and they would always, whenever it would be New Year's, she'd be eating a lot. Like they'll like draw them eating a lot of food, and then he'd always have her on the scale be like, heard that you're going to stay in Japan for a while. Are you enjoying Japan? I'm really enjoying Japan so far. Admittedly, this time I feel like last time, and this is nobody's fault, right? How do you prepare someone to live in Japan for 3 months? You don't, you know? There's just like not really any good way to prepare someone for that. So I didn't really like think about a lot of factors. Like I was like, I can just buy a towel when I get to Japan. I can just buy more clothes when I get to Japan. I can just do this, this, and this when I get to Japan. It'll be no worries. But Japan, I feel like a lot of things are just so different here that you can't really. It doesn't really work the way you think it would work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all the clothes, by all I mean a lot of the clothes, are one size fits all. And for context, all of these clothes, height-wise, fit Bijou really, really well. Might even be a bit long. So, in that regard, my point is, the clothes are made for short people. I am not short. I am an adult, tall woman with a big ass and big tits, and clothes just aren't made for me here. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter how much I may desire to wear the cute clothes. They're not going to fit me. It doesn't matter how many different stores I go to, but Noelle exists. I dare you to go check how tall Noelle is. You're right. In terms of boobage, we are very similar. However, since her height is closer to what they're made for, like there's the extra leeway, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I have a funny story to tell you. A funny Japanese error I made. Listen closely. So I was out, and I was out with some of the girls who don't really speak Japanese the best. They wanted to order water. So when you order water, you as in America Jin, who knows that mizu means water, my desire is to say mizu kudasai, and they probably would get that. But I've learned from hanging out with everybody in Fuamoko a lot that you don't say omizu kudasai, you say お冷やください. Hi. So when you want water, you say お冷やお願いしますください. You know, you ask for water. So it apparently it translates to cold thing, but that is a proper way to say it. So anyway, my dumbass forgot kind of that it was お冷や. And so in a pinch, the waiter was there. So said, あ、すみません。お箸ください。ね、え？お箸？はい、お箸ください。And Fumoko go, いやいやいやいや、お冷やください。And I went, ああ、恥ずかしいです。So, for context, hashi, ohashi is chopsticks. So, well, I'm trying to ask for water. And for context, we're at a dessert place. So, there's no reason to have chopsticks because we're eating desserts. It's not pitch accent, guys. It's ohashi versus ohia. I just said completely different things. I'm sure the pitch accent for ohashi, yeah, because ohashi also means bridge and chopsticks, but we're not worried about that right now. I asked them for chopsticks when I meant to ask for water, and they were very confused because it didn't make sense for me to want chopsticks. And Fuamoko had to save me. But now I have this funny story, and now God knows I'm never gonna get that it's ohia. Your staff saw and be like, why? Nihongo training art. I'm trying. I took a taxi and I actually had a conversation with the taxi driver. You'll have like really interesting, if you take taxi, I always have really interesting situations. One time I got in a taxi and the guy was like, you speak English? And I was like, yes, I speak English. And he was like, we have English practice now. And I was like, oh, okay. And the whole entire car ride, I hear the most clear and perfect English I've heard from any Japanese person, just from this random taxi driver. And the whole time he's like, I'm so sorry, my English is not good. I was like, bro, you gotta be joking with me right now. Your English is so sugoi desu. Eigo jouzu desu. Totemo native. He literally sounded like a native English speaker, but he's like, sorry, my English so bad. I was like, I'm gonna kill myself. Very humble. But so then at the end he's like, thank you for my English lesson. It was very helpful. And then recently I just had a taxi ride, and the taxi driver, there's another person in the car with me, so we're talking, and I was explaining to them the ohashi versus, you know, ohia, my funny mistake. The taxi driver starts laughing. Then the taxi driver proceeds to, in very clear, slow Japanese, talk to me on the taxi drive home. And was just like talking to me and like asking like regular questions. And he'd like understand, I think, when I didn't understand. And most of the time, Japanese people will like give up when they realize, they don't understand. They'll just kind of stop talking to you, which is totally fine. He kept re-asking it and rewording it until I understood. And I was like, I see. So, for example, he was trying to ask me, like, how long have you been, like, learning Japanese for? But he kept rewording it because he was using some words I didn't recognize, which it should be really easy, but he was just using some words I didn't recognize. But he eventually, like, said it in a way, and I was like, I see. Hi. And then he's like, Or, like, I would say something, and he'd understand well enough what I was trying to say, so he'd be like, oh, this is what you mean. So I was like, oh, like 2 years, except I said nisai. And he was like, ninen. And I was like, hi. It was very nice. It was nice. I was like, I appreciate it. I don't know Japanese. My point is, I realized this time, generally last time I was really scared to try to speak any Japanese because I was so scared of making mistakes. But I want to actually get good at Japanese so that JP bros and my JP senpai will want to talk to me more and not be scared of talking to me. So I realize I have to stop being scared of making mistakes and be willing to make mistakes, because even if I say something stupid, I'm trying. So since I've gotten here, I've been, you know, embarrassing myself a lot, perhaps. But yeah, I'm doing my best.